I'm sure all of us have been lonely and desperate at some point in our lives. It helps build character. But very few of us will ever have the same level of courage as this man I'm about to show you to step up and do something about it. He said, "Dag nabbit, I'm tired of being alone and I'm ready for a girlfriend." So, he used his 6th grade choir experience as well as finding an acoustic royalty free song off Facebook and then created his masterpiece, a song that dwarfs every other song that's ever come before it. And he sent it to a random girl off Twitter, hoping that she'd marry him, I guess. I don't really know. Let me go ahead and show you.
Hi. So, today on Twitter.com, a man sent me a very long DM about how he found my account and decided to write a song about me.
And they say romance is dead. Who doesn't want some greasy stranger somewhere in the world writing a song about you? I think that's beyond chivalrous. Also, this is something I've talked about briefly, but it's wild. If you're just a woman on Twitter just existing, dudes will DM you sometimes and just give you money for the sake of existing. It's called pay piggies. It's fucking crazy. It's such a wild atmosphere. But unfortunately for her, he wasn't giving her money. He was giving her like the opposite of money, something that like drains her just having listened to it, which is an awful song, like this terrible ballad you're about to hear.
This man decided to continue the message by saying that he's never written a song about anyone, not even his wife, and that he had to ask his wife's permission in order to finish the song.
Sorry, just one more quick segue before getting into the song here I need to talk about. This man doesn't have a wife. There's a 0% chance of that. This man's probably never even held a woman's hand before. That was absolutely a play to make it sound like he's getting pussy and like, desirable. Like, hey, look, women love me. I even have a wife, if you can believe that. And I even had to ask her permission to write this song. So, everything's all good. I'm not going behind her back or anything. I'm a good guy and women like me. It's just a weird lie this guy's telling 100%.
Whoa, Lauren, you're in your own league. Watched your videos on Twitter just to hear you speak. And yeah, you do sound as cute as you look. Congrats, I suppose.
Gets worse.
She's not wrong, but there's already so much to digest in just the intro here. So this is very Hey There Delilah-esque, if that was written by a psychopath. You can also kind of just feel the desperation oozing from the lyrics here. You have to be in a pretty weird state of mind to think that this is a good idea under any circumstance, just writing a song about a stranger and then sending it to them as your first contact with that person. That's pretty wild. But let's look at the lyrics, Hey there, Lauren, I watched your videos just to hear you speak. And yeah, you sound as cute as you look. Congrats, I suppose. Wow, I'm fucking sweating over here. Very smooth, what a silver tongue. The lyrics are inspired, to say the least, but it almost sounds insulting at the end there with the congrats, I suppose. It doesn't even rhyme with anything there. He just like threw that in as if he's like salty about it, like, yeah, congrats, I guess, you fucking harpy.
Lauren, only you know what you could do to my wife, my beautiful children, and comfortable life with a push of your will.
Move over, Johnny Cash. Hoo-wee! This one's about to bring a tear to my eye, to be honest. Let's go ahead and go over this one as well. A little pit stop again. Lauren, only you know what you could do to my wife, my beautiful children, and comfortable life with the push of your will. I wasn't exactly an English major in school, nor did I really study literature or anything, so I've got to tell you, I'm a little confused on the meaning behind these bars here. But they are fire, of course. But what is exactly the meaning behind it? Only you know what you could do to my wife. What is that, like, does he think Lauren's gonna go over there and beat her ass or something, or replace her? I don't really get it. Like, with the push of her will, she could do something to his wife and his kids. The comfortable life I get, like, he'd leave behind his life to be with Lauren. I understand that. I see what he's trying to say there. But then also, let's go back to, like, the beginning here where he said that he needed to ask his wife's permission to write the song. I could see why. It makes a lot of sense why he'd probably want to ask his wife's permission when he's writing a song all about leaving her for a different woman and throwing behind their kids and his life for a random woman on Twitter, I could see why he'd need the okay from his wife for this, assuming she exists, which she absolutely doesn't. But I'm suspending disbelief trying to understand what this all means, because I don't really get it. I think the whole message there is, I would throw my wife in the fucking sewer and leave my kids at school, tell them I'm going to get cigarettes, if you just gave me the word, Lauren. If it was your will, I would throw everything behind. I'm ready to risk it all for you.
Hey Lauren, are we in common? Are you over-trusting? Are you analytical? Do you feel everything?
It sounds like I'm listening to the background track of a shitty commercial with that xylophone hit, the ding, that little bell that keeps sounding with the generic acoustic guitar chords behind it. It just doesn't even seem like it's supposed to be a love song. There's nothing romantic about it at all. It just sounds like a cry for help. This guy should have let me ghostwrite it for him. I'll hit you with a timeless classic to really wiggle your finger to and get you laid. Hey, darling, hey, let me love you. Let me kiss your pretty lips. I'm feeling kinda hungry. Let me eat those titty chips. I'll be honest, I'm all alone. But give me your hand and let me give you a home. Yeah. That's not bad. That's a chart topper, honestly. I'm gonna fucking write that down.
And more, I guess you're like razors of steel, with grace and zeal and sex appeal, all dwarfed by your will be still be.
So anyway, I blocked him.
The nice guy loses again, god damn it. What is wrong with society when a banger like this ends up getting you blocked instead of getting you dick deep in some good high quality vagina? Blows my mind. It makes me sick, honestly. Just couldn't appreciate the fine wordplay and zeal and sex appeal. Oh. In a follow-up video, she showed the DMs here, and they're a lot worse than I expected them to be. So first of all, the amount of comma splices Alan's using here is insulting. So he begins with, "We never met and probably never will, but I had the pleasure of reading one of your articles, and as one does after reading an article, I looked up the writer, in this case you, first hit Twitter, and I had a nose around your Twitter, whatever you call it, feed page, I don't know, but anyway, I got inspired by those first 30 seconds or so because you're quite, well, impressive." God, the way he writes, I can immediately picture exactly what Alan looks like. He wrote this while taking a sip of tea with his pinky out and caressing his soul patch. "So I wrote a song inspired by you, and I've recorded a demo to bring to the studio next week, and I thought it would be a nice thing to let you know. I've never had a song written about me, neither has my wife, or at least I don't think she has, but I imagine you get that all the time." Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's totally normal. What a flex. This is going to be turned into a big song. He's going to the studio to record it. I can't wait to hear it on the radio. 98.9 delivering the hits here with, "Hey there, Lauren, I'm outside your window." He then finishes it off by saying, "My mate/business associate and emailed you pretty much the same thing, but don't know if you actually got that or if I sent it to the right address for that matter. Yeah, red wine on an empty stomach equals messy me." Jesus Christ. One thing about the song, I actually needed to get permission from my beautiful wife to actually finish writing it. Can you imagine? No. No, I can't. I actually can't imagine. You didn't need permission from your beautiful wife to write it, nor did your business partner email it to you, because you even dropped that ruse in the next sentence by saying, "I don't know if I sent it to the right address." So you immediately forgot that you just told her it wasn't you that emailed it. I digress. What a ride. So, let's see how he responded to being blocked.
My man said, "Oh, blocked, K. Should have said this is a fictional thing, not to be taken literally kind of thing. Ah, well."
Listen, Lauren, you see, you misunderstood the song. It's a work of fiction, which means it's not weird. This is totally normal, and you fucked up by thinking it's supposed to be real. But if you so happen to choose, I would actually leave behind everything for you. That's not fiction. It's, just one of those things. A little too desperate, I would say. I would say this was really swinging for the fences, and it didn't work out. which is pretty predictable. The song was trash, and the idea behind it of just writing a random song about a stranger you've never met as a way of coming on to her and flirting with her is weird. Even if fucking Harry Styles did this, it would still be a weird thing to do. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, that whole idea just doesn't really track well. So, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. If you were thinking it's a good idea to write a song for a girl you have a crush on and the girl doesn't know you exist, it's not a good idea. Let this be a lesson. That's about it. See ya. A couple months ago, there was a massive story that blew up and became more popular and more well-known than the Bible for like a week or two. It was a police cheating scandal where a woman was accused of cheating on her husband with multiple officers on the force, and they were going hog wild at like the headquarters while on duty, at the gym, also having girls gone wild style hot tub parties or something. You would have been hard pressed to find a location they weren't having sex in. There was more DNA throughout that headquarters than at a goddamn sperm bank. You could have cloned all of the officers with all of that. I bet if you brought a blacklight to the headquarters, you would have had that shit lit up like it was a game of Splatoon. And she kind of became the face of cheating for a little while, like the mascot for extramarital affairs. This story actually had a pretty big plot twist not too long ago where she came out and said that everything isn't as it appears. She was actually groomed into it and forced into it. I don't think there's been any updates since that statement came out, but that's kind of where the story's at. And now the same thing is happening yet again at a different department. It really seems like police headquarters are like frat houses at this point. So let's go over this news story where a 911 dispatcher is accused of sexting with 7 men and having an affair with at least 2 of them. And some of the text messages have been released, and holy shit, the amount of refined, pure cringe is admirable. Just to give you the quick and dirty, a 911 dispatcher has been caught sexting 7 other officers while being married herself. Some of the officers are also married, so it's a big, wild, wacky web of cheating that's unfolded here. And 3 of them are being put up for potential termination as a result of all of this. It's still unclear if a lot of the affairs and all of that shit were happening while on duty, like on the clock, though it does appear to be the case occasionally. So definitely a not great situation here. So now let's dive in and take a closer look at what's been said and exactly what was going on.
According to Sheriff Javier Salazar, the employees deny having sex or doing anything inappropriate while on duty. However, 2 spouses who shared the texts with Internal Affairs and with News 4 claim the messages show otherwise.
The shamelessness to not only cheat but then deny that it happened in the face of overwhelming evidence is almost comical. It'd be like me trying to deny that I'm 5'6", or trying to say that my cat Io isn't the cutest goddamn thing in the world when you can clearly see that not only is she the cutest cat in the world, but I'm 5'6". There's no getting around that fact. There's just not a whole lot of wiggle room for this to be some kind of misunderstanding or a lie, because the spouses are the ones that came forward with all of the information and all of the text messages, which is a heartbreaking betrayal, but it is pretty much put in the books as a fact that the sexting is real, as are the affairs. So I believe they're trying to now deny that it happened on duty as opposed to just denying that it happened in general.
Overnight 911 dispatcher Crystal Perez has been placed on unpaid administrative leave, along with Bexar County Sheriff Sergeant Ronaldo Salinas and Deputy Juan Leal. All 3 have received notices of proposed termination.
So it seems the only thing Crystal was dispatching was officers to her pussy. She was reporting a vaginal emergency, and luckily the boys in blue knew exactly how to solve this problem. With penis. Fucking heroes. Now, she was sexting with about 5 other officers, but these 2 are the ones that are kind of in the hot seat at the moment because they believe the behavior was so egregious that they need to take disciplinary action against those 2, as well as, of course, Crystal herself.
Many of the texts are too explicit for us to share.
But just explicit enough for me to share. I like that. That's how you make me feel. Not sure how it is for you. I feel so hot and sexy when I'm in you. Also kind of blundered the spelling on you there, because I'm pretty sure he's typing with one hand. Fuck yeah, you do. I can feel it. All of it. And I love it. I understand that it's always laughable looking at someone's sexting It's one of those things that is always going to be just fucking goofy, but this feels like a whole nother level of embarrassing. Like, just the way that it starts there. I feel so hot and sexy when I'm in you. Brother, what kind of emotional Twilight level shit is that? What? When I'm inside your warm crevice, I feel like such a man. Like, I almost expected him to start, like, trauma dumping right after that. Like, prior to your moist hole, the only thing that I would get inside was the couch cushions, and you fill me with so much more purpose down there. And then her response is just as fucking silly. I can feel it. All of it. Yeah, I hope so. I fucking hope so. I hope you're not just numb. And I hope my cock isn't so goddamn skinny and small that you wouldn't even know it's there. Yeah, I fucking hope you would be able to feel it. We need another hotel day. Yes, with like 1,000 exclamation points. Non-stop for as long as possible. When do you go back to nights? Friday. So they're looking at non-stopping on this one. This is gonna be non-stop nuttin' on a hotel day, I guess. So that way they could both feel so hot and sexy. Of course, I can't wait for more time to open up so I can fill us in. More like have them fill you in. Am I right, Crystal? Yes, baby. I can't wait. And then I can lay on you and kiss you all over. Like, all over? Caps lock? Duh. It actually seems like I'm reading some kind of high school fanfic. Like, this is so bad. This is a 38-year-old woman or something like that, and the other officers aren't much younger, and they're texting like this. Yeah, I was almost expecting the next set of messages to start with, Crystal, I like you. And then she'd be like, alright, I'm booking a hotel so you can fuck me silly. That was so romantic. I can't wait for us to be naked and us caressing each other, then kissing each other all over. Caps lock again. He's just really blown away with the all over statement. Like, his mind has gone fucking blank. He's like a cartoon character. His like eyes have popped out of his head going, awooga. And then she says, fuck yes. And then on Tuesday, thinking of my daddy and this kisses. And then on Thursday, she sends I don't know what that is, a picture of a mobile game high score. I'm not really sure. But she also kind of gets ghosted there. She sends some shit on Tuesday about thinking about daddy, and he just doesn't even reply. He's probably too busy with his wife and kids to reply in time, but yeah.
I can't wait for us to be naked and us caressing each other and then kissing each other all over. Perez, expletive, yes.
She just loved my life, and it was very distraught, heartbreaking. I was in disbelief.
I really feel horrible for her husband as well as the other spouses of the officers involved. That's just the ultimate betrayal. That shit absolutely fucking sucks. And he's having a very normal reaction to it, heartbreak, talking about how difficult this whole situation has been. So he learned from the text messages that his wife is not only a cheater but also cringe. And there's really no fixing this kind of situation for a marriage, so I imagine a divorce is on its way.
The dispatcher's husband, Giancarlo Perez, discovered texts between his wife and 6 sheriff's deputies, plus a City of Converse police officer. In December, he gave them to Internal Affairs, and an investigation was opened.
They use emojis to reference body parts, and they would talk about, kissing.
I miss your lips. My lips miss you. What the fuck? Like, all of these officers just keep saying, like they're talking to fucking Minecraft villagers or something. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, this isn't even like sexting anymore. This is like actually AI trying to flirt with other AI. I don't understand.
Making out and all these, like I said, just sexual connections.
But during the week, I'm gonna be checked to see if I can meet you for a smooches. Like, daily going to check. So if there is a day no good, better to say something now. You remember those Facebook posts from people, like, horny posting on Facebook, like, bitch lasagna, pussy make cock go woohoo, like that kind of shit? That is actually the same energy that these sex messages have.
Perez took screenshots of the text from his wife's phone, and many of the timestamps are missing, so it's not clear.
Oh boy, we're getting inundated with text now. It's coming from all angles. So some of these we've already gone over, But let's look at the continuation from the Miss Your Lips here. I can't quite see the green messages, but the other one is, good morning, I'm rolled up like a burrito. She says something with a kissing emoji, so probably just more smooches. And he once again says, Jesus fucking Christ, she's communicating with a man who's undergone a lobotomy. Underneath that, the next set of messages, again, I can't really read the green ones, but the message says, I know, I need that grown woman love. And then I can read this one. She says, oh, I want to give it to you. And then kissing emoji again, I guess. So then we go off to the right here. I want you lips, smooch, in my face. And he says, I am the hunted. Feel like the main actor in one of those Predator movies. What is happening? This isn't sexting. What is going on? I need that grown woman love. What? And then the out of fucking nowhere starts getting her with a Shakespearean monologue. I am the hunted. Feel like the main character in one of those Predator movies in response to her talking about giving him kisses. What is going on? I am the hunted. I am the night. I am the shadow within the shadow. You can't find me. I am Gotham's protector. It's dark night.
If the texters were on duty. But in one thread on a Friday night at 10:20 p.m., Sergeant Salinas tells dispatcher Perez, I get off at midnight. Came in early.
Very hard for me to read.
It really does seem like some of this cheating happened while they were on duty, which is of course a big no-no, and what had led to a lot of the officers being fired in the last police cheating scandal. Like, the cheating is bad, and it's made even worse when they're supposed to be working and on the job.
I can imagine.
Jessica Jarvis is now divorcing a fourth sheriff's employee who is being disciplined. Investigator Jason Jarvis received a proposed suspension of 30 days.
These are people that are supposed to be protecting us, supposed to be serving, and making sure the community is safe.
To be fair, these officers still were serving up a cock meat sandwich right to Crystal's mouth, giving her that hot dog with extra wiener on it. Now, being completely honest, I really am wishing her the best with this divorce. Divorce is absolutely the right call. I know it's not going to be easy or anything, but she is making the right decision.
While details of the investigation remain secret, it does not appear anyone broke the law, but those disciplined allegedly violated sheriff's office policies.
Certainly the case is being taken seriously, and quite frankly, I believe it's quite possible that some people are going to lose their career as a result of this.
So while no laws were broken, this is still very heavily frowned upon. Not just at, like, police work, but any work. Fucking on the job is always going to usually lead to a termination or, at the very least, some kind of disciplinary action like, hey, maybe don't do that. So that's not surprising to hear at all. I'm gonna keep my eyes on this story to see how it all develops. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. If you've got a full belly, prepare yourself because you might just puke upon seeing and listening to this unbelievable, embarrassing cringe. This is the worst flirting, the worst attempt at wooing a potential romantic interest I have ever seen. This is like playing a visual novel and then scaring away all of your potential love interests at once and getting the worst ending. Now, I'd like to give a bit of context here to the situation before we really dive into the meatballs from our spaghetti entree of cringe. A user on Twitter posted screenshots as well as videos from a random guy who had reached out to her on Facebook because he had seen her on a dating app. The two didn't even match, and I guess he must have assumed that it was some kind of glitch because they were destined to be lovers. It was fate that was pulling them together, but unfortunately technology had a malfunction, so he took matters into his own hands, tracked her down on Facebook, of which she had no connection to the dating app. She didn't connect any of her socials to the dating app, so he did some super sleuthing to find her on Facebook and reach out to her there to try and win her heart. And let's see how that went. Kelsey! I love that intro right there. It's straight out of Scary Movie, like that old commercial. What's up? He's coming at her like they're best friends from way back in the day. He then executes Order 66 and kills all potential for romance. He goes, I mean, okay, shit. Mayhaps that was a tad overly enthusiastic for a stranger danger message on a sunny Friday morning. There is so much quirk to the way that he texts that I'm getting uncomfortable. I can say with a high level of confidence that he is definitely in some kind of theater troupe because he is typing like he's acting out some kind of skit for a play. It's a little much here. My bad. Let's go with, I can explain. Fuck yeah, that works. Then drops a couple of emojis and then one of these bad boys. How she didn't immediately fall in love with this man is beyond me. This is aggressive. And it's already creepy because it's a complete stranger who saw her on a dating app and then tracked her down in order to, really directly communicate with her. So, let's go over where things went wrong here. I'll go ahead and get the playbook out like John Madden and say where everything fell apart for the offense. From the start, basically. There is nothing that's even remotely salvageable from what he tried to do here. There is nothing more annoying than texting like you're talking to yourself during the text. Like when you say something like, Kelsey, oh wait, shit, mayhaps that was a tad too far on a stranger danger sunny Friday afternoon. Goodness gracious, how do I save this? Like that is so fucking lame. That is shameful. That is just downright shameful. I am shocked he didn't drop like an asterisk nuzzles you, and then an asterisk, you there? Yeah, and then one of those emojis. So she said, sorry, do I know you? And then it reactivates this cringe protocol. He says, oh hey, no, we don't know each other. Sincere apologies for this subterfuge. Oh brother, this guy stinks. Dropping subterfuge here in your creepy approach to a stranger. If you give me the tiniest bit of room, I'd be happy to explain. I reckon that said explanation will bring laughs and smiles. P.S. Not trying to rope you into a pyramid scheme to sell fancy Tupperware. Yet. He's trying very hard to be self-aware, and when he starts sending his voice memos to her, he reiterates 1,000 times like, this is weird, you're probably gonna think I'm weird, and then just keeps doing it. He sends so many voice messages that go for a long, long time. It's making my voice crack because of how fucking embarrassing it is. And you want to know the wildest part? I'm getting ahead of myself, and it's a spoiler. He has done this to multiple women, apparently. Other women have come forward after this tweet and all of this, the receipts here and all that went viral, with other women showing their interactions with him, and he even uses like the exact same lines on other women, which is really odd considering that has to be a 0% success rate. These can't be working well at all. It's so weird. So she decides to play ball here and open Pandora's box to see what comes out. She says, explain away, and he gives a brief, cool guy thing. Oh god, I just spent 60 minutes singing to seniors and man am I drained. But fuck it, I can do this. He's hyping himself up in the text messages he is sending to this girl. It is so embarrassing, and he keeps doing it, but it gets worse because right after that, he sends a voice message.
Hey, Kelsey, how's it going? Don't mind me, I fucking hate texting. I think we're all better without it, so I usually use one of these when I can. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen that Key and Peele skit, but that's how I feel about texting. I could go on. Anyway, I just want you to know right off the bat, I fully accept how fucking weird this is. I'm sorry, but like I said, I think if you give me a second, you'll probably end up laughing. And not that you need my permission, but feel free to just laugh directly at me for being a fucking idiot, for I am surely about to embarrass myself right now.
I do appreciate your stamp of approval. I and everyone else will be laughing directly at you for this, and I appreciate that you recognize what an unbelievably weird thing it is to do. I don't know why you keep doing it. This is the first of many voice messages he sends, even after recognizing this immutable fact that it is weird and embarrassing.
And sorry for the delay. I was going to get back to you, but someone called about a gig tomorrow and I'm trying to help them find a musician. Also, I'm not sure if I'm fucking funny anymore. I just spent 60 minutes, like I said, playing guitar and singing to a room full of senior citizens, but the room was stuffy and hot. I had to do it with the surgical mask on, and I'm not sure if I have any funny or social energy left, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and fake it right now. So thank you for your understanding and patience, and here goes nothing. I'm a fucking idiot. Enjoy.
He's actually treating this like it's some kind of movie audition. What are you talking about? I also just, I love that he immediately makes himself seem like super busy, like, hey, sorry for the delay. I know you were waiting on bated breath for my explanation, but I had to help very big musicians find a gig. You may have heard of them before. Bring Me the Horizon. Yeah, I'm the lead singer. So I had a lot going on. I was double booked, so I had to give them a different band. You may have heard of them, Metallica. But anyway, let me go ahead and explain what's going on. I just finished one of my own gigs, in fact, so I'm a little drained, but don't be perturbed because I'm gonna do my best to fake it. So stay tuned for part 2. It's coming right up. Yeah, like he's about to go through his stand-up comedy routine, which you don't want to miss.
In the trenches of online dating for a couple of years, so I definitely know how to identify the kind of person I'm like, if nothing else, the world would be better if we were friends. So hear me out. First of all, I never fucking see that shrug emoji. No one else uses it. It's typed into my phone. If I type shrug with 2 G's, it just shows up. Same thing on my laptop. Like, I'll use it in work emails. Fuck it. So right away, I'm like, interesting. I don't get it though. She's cute. For how pretty she is, she should be boring. Why does she seem kind of strange in a good way?
That's a spectacular start right there. I was like, she's kind of pretty, so why isn't she like a fucking lobotomite boring dumbass? Like, she used an emoji that I really like, and she's pretty. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Pretty women can't have a personality, but you're like defying all of science right now. He just keeps going on about this fucking shrug emoji. He's talking about her bio on the dating site, and he just really fixates on that. That shrug emoji is like Cupid's arrow to this guy. He fell in love instantly when he saw it in her bio. I don't know why he thought it was a compliment to say that she's like strange and different in a good way because pretty women are like boring or whatever, insinuates that a pretty girl can't have a personality. I don't know what the thought process was with that approach, but it's definitely a bold play.
I think you said something about live music. My job is actually live music. I play guitar and sing. I do about 25 shows a month. I know it sounds made up. I feel like I invented the job. It's redonkulous, but I live very comfortably. Life is good. I do play at a lot of retirement homes, and it's great for my self-esteem, Kels, as I am a big hit with women over 80.
Time out. Technical foul here. He just dropped a redonkulous. He just said redonkulous. And then not only that, in his only second voice message here, he's already just calling her Kels. They're not even on like a first name basis. They're not acquaintances. These are 2 complete strangers, and he's already giving her like a nickname. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, and just the night before, I'd been talking to one of my best friends in the world, Roxy. Just people that like match you and they just write hey. So if someone writes hey, I just write hi. And if someone writes sup, I go nothing much, you. And like, people that match me and clearly haven't read my fucking bio, folks will match and be like, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, come on, Chelsea. Like, yeah, you're kind of cute, but I'm pretty damn sweet. Try harder.
Why are you even talking about this? You're like trauma dumping on this complete stranger right now that you've tracked down from a dating app to try and communicate directly with because you didn't match with her. What the fuck is this? Now you're just going on about like, dating apps are so weird. People just say like, hey. So then I'm like, hi. You don't know how to have a conversation. You didn't read the bio that I painstakingly typed up. I spent a long time on that bio and now I'm offended. Ridiculous. Redonkulous.
I don't know. It's just to see someone mention that in a bio, I'm like, thank you. I can see that you feel the same as me. Yeah, if people, I always think that effort should match interest in dating. So if you're curious if someone's interested or not, remember that scene with Justin Long and What's-Her-Face in that movie about dating? Is it he's just not that into you? And he's like, if the guy's interested, he will call. And it's true. So I found a line a couple years ago and it's like, effort will always match interest. It will show you how interested someone is. And like, I'm pretty goddamn sweet, and I am not that lonely, bored, or horny. I'm not going to take breadcrumbs from someone if I want a sandwich. So if someone hits me with a hey or hi, you can go fuck yourself.
He's just sounding like a complete unhinged asshole here. It's not that deep. What do you mean they can just go fuck themselves? No one's even, like, what does this have to do with anything in this situation? This isn't even flirting. This is just blurting. He's just blurting out all of the most nonsensical shit in his head right now to a complete stranger. And not only that, this is probably not even his first take. I bet he recorded this like 10 times until he had one that was like, this is the one. This was smooth. And that's what we got here. We got the final product. This isn't even like the first draft, I doubt. That's mind-blowing.
I'm worth more. Damn it. This is where the Kelly Clarkson song comes in. Your bio is just, there was so much intentional effort put in, and honestly, the more I scroll down in the pics, I'm like, this does not match up. I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, attractive people can also be interesting and funny, but it's just incredibly rare. I speak for myself, because I'd like to consider myself one of those.
That's the end of chapter 2 from the voice memos, but don't worry, there's still a finale, and it's the extended director's cut. The next one's over 5 minutes long. Also, he doubles down on this whole, like, yeah, you're, like, pretty, but you have a personality, which that just does not happen. I don't know why he thinks that that's some kind of, like, grand compliment. It's very odd. Now, before playing the 5-minute, 30-second monologue here, he must have seen that she listened to it. He's like, ha! Gotcha! Yeah, I gotcha! Red-handed, you listen to it. Curiosity got the better of you. And then she says, dude, so you saw me on Bumble and found me on Facebook? How? Clearly very creeped out by it, understandably. And then he goes, oh, I honestly just typed in Kelsey and I guess I got lucky. I figured because you put live music we might have some friends in common or something. I blame Zuckerberg, and then laughing emoji. Which contradicts everything that he's said here, because he's constantly talking and referencing her bio, which I think is referring to her dating profile bio, especially because he does mention, like, online dating with Hayes and highs and shit. So I don't even know why he thought that would somehow save the situation. Like, she'd be fooled by it.
For the love of fuck, I was like 2 minutes into one, and it was awesome and funny, and I was so proud of it, and then someone called me again about a gig this evening, and it's like, you know that thing where your friends know you're busy or you're on a date or something, and then that's when they decide to call? Jesus Christ.
Excellent. Chef's kiss. This is how you start a romantic message. Ah, for the love of fuck. I was in the middle of something spectacular. You were gonna love it, Kels. You were gonna love it. Trust me. But then one of my fucking asshole friends called me about a gig, because I'm so busy being a successful live musician. Can you believe that, Kels? Can you believe that? It's like those things, you know, where, like, we both go on dates, right? I go on dates, clearly. You go on dates. And sometimes when you're just busy, people call. It's Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, your bio was just the fucking bee's knees. I mean, listen, top 3 in, like, the hundreds or thousands I've seen. It was just, I don't know. I'm a very good judge of character, and you just seem like my kind of person. And I'm not saying we're star-crossed lovers. I don't know you, and you don't know me.
That's 100% correct. You don't know each other. So why are you doing this? This is not how you get to know someone. This is concerning. Also, you should never admit to seeing hundreds or thousands of dating profile bios. That makes you sound very desperate, that you spend all of your time on these dating apps, perusing it, cruising around, and if you don't match with someone you found attractive or interesting based on their bio, you go out of your way to find them elsewhere to try and talk to them, which is very scary behavior.
I fully accept how strange and unconventional this is. I got a vibe, and I figured I gotta go with it. I was, like, in a really good mood that day. I don't know. I'm totally winging it. But, yeah, a lot of my close friends are women, and everyone, unfortunately, has a couple stories of having to block someone's number, or an ex just won't leave them alone, or going to the cops. Fuck, dude, I've had to block a few numbers of crazy people that didn't know they were crazy. So I really, really apologize sincerely if this in any way, like, triggered that, or it was weird, or whatever. Kelsey, that's the furthest thing from my intention. I just wanted to say howdy, and I figured if I talk like an idiot, you'd probably feel like I did after I looked at your bio.
It's so close. He's teetering on the edge of self-awareness. Him saying all of this out loud should have led to this eureka moment where he was overcome with immense shame, and he just presses the eject button and deletes the voice memo and doesn't continue this conversation. Like, he's clearly pointing out just how weird all of this is. He's even going into all of his friends are women who, you know, have stories about having to block crazy people who didn't know they were crazy. Like, case in point, what you're doing here, but you keep trying to, like, make it seem like it's not weird, even though you do keep acknowledging how weird it is. So, like, you're fighting, like, a battle against yourself in your own messages. You are calling yourself out in front of the person that you're talking to as well. It's really weird.
Oh, okay. It's not fair. You've seen mine, or sorry, I've seen yours and you have not seen mine. If you want, I will screenshot my Bumble bio. I'm quite proud of it. I think it's pretty fucking good. It represents me well. And what else would I want to know if I was you? Gee, I'm like 6 feet tall, pretty damn handsome. I'd give me like a 7. No, like a 7.5 out of 10 looks wise. I mean, to my knowledge, no one has dated me for my abs or my hair. I'm guessing it's because I'm funny and honest and clearly very humble and go to therapy and emotionally intelligent.
It's not a job interview, bro. You don't need to be giving your resume here. Brother, just stop. Please, goodness gracious.
7.5, maybe even an 8. I'm feeling really fucking good lately. I got a tan. I'm up to like 80-second side planks. I hate them, but they're totally worth it for the core. And big feet. So you know what that means, baby doll. Big socks.
You're scaring me. You are scaring me. Why would you do that? What? From way downtown here, he's throwing up a crazy jump shot. He immediately goes into, I've got big feet. You know what that means, baby girl. Oh my lord, please. Have mercy. Have mercy. Why? Why?
What else? I feel like I didn't tell you enough about the bio too. That shrug emoji was just, if nothing else, the fact that like you look like a Disney princess and you use that, I'm like, fuck it, I gotta talk to her. So, oh, I was definitely getting strong Kirsten Bell vibes too, and she's awesome. I don't know if you listen to her husband's podcast, Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. It's quite the reference, but I have a feeling you might know what that is. One of my favorite episodes, actually, is it Lauren Graham that plays Lorelai? She was on there. Anyway, I am all over the fucking place, as is my job.
You're also all over the place in this one-sided conversation. Now you're shouting out podcasts, talking about fucking shrug emoji again. It's hurting me listening to this. Let this be a lesson to everyone out there watching this. Just don't do anything even remotely like this. Never engage in a one-sided conversation where you have to be the one filling in blanks in a conversation that doesn't really exist.
But I'm sitting here, a middle-aged guy in his car with the AC on and a SpongeBob shirt, and I would call this like the technological version of, you know, when like Noah stops Allie in the Notebook and he's like, I had to talk to you when I see something I want. Yes, I just made a Notebook reference. I don't know. I'm being a total idiot right now. So if nothing else, I figured you'd have a laugh and a smile and you can fucking make fun of me to your friends. I don't know. Now you have a solo podcast for a guy that makes like $6,000 a month on a microphone being an idiot.
He was right. This is something that everyone can laugh about and have a big smile on their face making fun of this whole situation. And then out of nowhere, he drops like his salary from his job, like to flex. He just like slides that in there, which, I mean, it's an interesting strategy yet again. This guy's got a wild book of tricks.
I'm sorry, I don't normally bring up money, but I feel like I created my job out of thin air, and like I just submitted my 2022 taxes, and shit's been getting so much better the last few years, so I'm quite proud of it. That wasn't me trying to impress you, though, with money. I've got way more impressive shit than that. It just slipped out. I hope we could still be friends. Anyway,
Why leave it in there, then? You saying that clearly made you uncomfortable. You could have just deleted this and just tried again. Though I don't think you should have tried again regardless. This shouldn't have happened to begin with. But you yourself just made yourself puke in your mouth when you said your $6,000 a month out loud like that as like a flex, and you still let it ride. You still let this Beyblade rip. Why?
You look like a goddamn Disney princess. The bio completely floored me. I felt like it was written by a friend or something. I just got like strong, like fellow nerd, divergent, super cool, gregarious, happy person vibes. And yeah, so listen, I'm an open book. You probably figured that out like 6 overshares ago. If you have any questions for me, please hit me. Don't be shy. If you want, I'll share my bio. I feel like it's unfair that, you know, I've seen yours and you haven't seen mine. I'm quite proud of my bio.
This entire situation has been nothing but overshares from you. She's not going to ask you any questions. No sane person would. It's not going to happen. This whole thing was a complete catastrophe. And once again, hung up on this fucking bio thing. They're just bios. Most people write them in 10 seconds. I don't know how long he spent, like, finally crafting his, but that is not the norm. I'm sure she didn't spend days coming up with her bio on here. I don't know how it resonated so strongly with this guy, but I bet after this whole song and dance, the woman here immediately just deleted her whole account, or at the very least removed the bio entirely.
Yeah, for the 80th time, I apologize if this was weird or like gave you any bad vibes. That's not my intention. Yeah, I gotta drive home now because I gotta go sing at a bar in Mississauga, and I have 4 more gigs this weekend, and it hurts to talk. So I'm sitting here in my car like a jackass. And yeah, I hope that all made some kind of sense. And if nothing else, please take the sincere compliment. I've seen hundreds of shitty bios, probably thousands, and yours was easily top 3. The only reason I'm not giving you number 1 is because then it would seem like I'm lying. But I'm a very genuine, honest person, and yeah. Actually, on my way home, I'm going to go to the park and feed the ducks. My favorite swan couple, Mr. Plump and Mrs. Plumfett, they just had babies a couple weeks ago. So, like, I'll run up and they recognize me and the babies are squeaking. The hierarchy of, like, waterfowl cute babies, it goes swan babies, then ducklings, and then goslings. But, yes, I may or may not do that 4 to 7 times a week. I'm a huge animal lover. Dogs are better than cats. Cats suck. Sorry if you have cats, but I'm sure your cat is cool.
That was one of the most peculiar lies I've ever heard. You're going to stop at the park on the way home so you can visit your favorite swan couple, Mr. Plumph and Mrs. Plumfett, because they just had babies a couple weeks ago, and they recognize you and get excited and start squeaking when you come by, like you're part of the family, part of the crew, part of the ship. What universe? What the fuck? That's not even something Dr. Seuss would write as like a little goofy side plot in a story. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard, for no reason, for no reason. The quirkiness is overloading. Like the cup runneth over on quirk. Wow.
And yeah, take the compliment. Anyway, apologies if this totally intruded on your day, opposite of my intention. And yeah, your bio was fucking awesome. I mean, there's a couple other assets I noticed too, but I cannot mention them without sounding like a fuckboy, so I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm sure you've worked very hard to be in the shape you're in, but goddamn, lady. God damn, I would not kick you out of bed for eating crackers. So I figured if you are half as funny as you seem to be and half as cool as I got from that bio, I would say howdy. Yeah, all right. Hope this made you laugh and smile, and you have a fantastical day, Kelsey. Cheers.
And that's the grand finale of this whole situation, and what a journey it was. I find this to be probably the best example of the worst approach to romance imaginable. And like I said, this was not an isolated incident. He's done this before. And he's even used the same lines before. Which is it's so wild. It's so wild. I had to talk about it. I had to. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Last night I had a little trouble falling asleep. I think what I needed was a good bedtime story. So I turned to Reddit, just cruising around, perusing, see if I could find anything that'd give me the yawns and help me go night-night. But I found something extraordinary. Something so stimulating I stopped any attempt at going to sleep, and I just sat there bewildered by what I had just read. For at least 40 minutes, I just sat in silence, truly stunned, like a child who had just watched his first episode of Chris Angel's Mind Freak. My brain was blown out my ass. I couldn't imagine a world where this was real, but all of the evidence pointed to it being a genuinely true story. I did eventually hit the hay, and now, a full 9 hours later, I'm still thinking about this, so I figured, why not share it with all of you? Perhaps this will have a profound effect on your life, or maybe it'll do something to help motivate you to not be like the guy in this story. It's a series of text messages between a man and a woman. And that's all I'll tell you for now. I don't want to get in any spoilers. I want you to come into this as unsuspecting as possible. Let's dive in. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, the two people in this text conversation were close friends for about 9 years. The Reddit poster is the woman in this story, and her male friend here had recently professed his love for her in a pretty creepy way. The feeling wasn't mutual, so it led to a bit of a disconnect between the two of them, and in an act of desperation, the male friend calls in the Cringe artillery and starts bombarding her with memes, to which she finally responds, "Hey, I appreciate the memes. Real quick, I'd like to come in here with a PSA. I recognize that in the current climate of things, there's a lot of people that have lived their entire lives online without any actual social interaction, so I want this to be a teachable moment. Don't send memes as some kind of last-ditch Hail Mary. Like, if you let something rip and it's not reciprocated, spamming memes isn't going to salvage the situation, it's only going to make it worse and even weirder. Her saying, I appreciate the memes, is just a lie. No one's ever going to say that. Those words have probably not left a human being's mouth ever. Ah, good morrow, sailor. I really appreciate the exquisite memes you've shared with me today. I was a little perturbed with our last conversation, but now that you've sent 1,000 memes, I see you've got a good heart. Thank you for this. And I'm speaking from experience here. I'm very knowledgeable in this field. I'm the authority on this matter. I've told this story before, but I'll just briefly repeat it. The very first girl I was ever flirting with and exchanging text messages with was back in high school, and she did not feel the same way about me as I did her. And in my weakest moments, I turned to the dark side and consulted the Sith Lords, and was advised to try and maybe like send goofy memes and ASCII art, because that was big back in the day. So I did. And guess what? It didn't fucking solve anything. It just made it even worse. I know how uncomfortable that must have been for her. So yeah, that is not the right play, to just start spamming memes and shit. But anyway, she continues the message by saying that she's only ever thought of him as a close friend and never really viewed him in a romantic way. So when he professed her love, it made things a little weird. They grew distant, they grew a bit hostile, but she thinks they can be friends again just as long as it's very clear that there is no romantic feelings in this relationship. She's just laying down the brass tacks and making things very clear, to which he responds, I certainly had my head on backwards, but as my friend, I really think you're fucking adorable, and every trip I've ever taken with you is so fucking precious. I've heard of a Japanese word called shibumi, and it's basically authority without dominance. Call me a simp, but I really think you have that. Code red, he's not taking no for an answer. Jinkies, we're going too deep. He just busted out shibumi. Jesus Christ, we're in the in-game now. Lord help us. He continues to spaghetti dump here for the novel that he's writing her. There's steam coming off of the touchscreen pad as he's writing. The most important takeaway here is a very specific line, a buzzword that gets dropped that I think is very important that we highlight. He says, sometimes it feels like my chivalrous interest with you is underappreciated or just unappreciated sometimes. The reason I point that out is because I'm pretty confident that the word chivalry is used exclusively by creeps. I don't think there's been a documented case of a normal person saying chivalry, especially not in this context. It's just like an immediate red flag word to drop, especially when saying that my chivalrous interest is underappreciated, it's not valued enough. It's just some certified weirdo Redditor energy. Like tip in the hat, m'lady. It's no problem, you're welcome for holding the door open for you. Chivalry isn't dead, am I right? I'm the perfect example. No, of course, I'm just kidding. I jest. Chivalry can't die, because to die, it would imply that it was ever alive in the first place. Only a living thing can experience death, and chivalry is not a living thing. It's an idea, more of a social code, per se. He continues on, and then eventually tells her that she should like one of them so he doesn't feel crazy, to which he says, you're not crazy, I just need some time to think. Which I think is a perfectly reasonable response to all of this, but he gives her no time to think and immediately just comes back to, please, let me find favor in your eyes. I'm assuming he heard that in some kind of like indie song at some point, so he tried to throw that in here to see if it'd work. So he's going full-blown Robert Frost now, even then drops a picture saying, daydream with me, and it's like the sun rising. So it's getting very emotional in here. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because it's him once again just begging for any kind of reciprocation, to which she just keeps saying she just needs some time to process all of this. But he's extremely impatient. His foot is fully on the gas and there's no turning back now. He is full throttle invested in all of this. He's using every possible cliche line imaginable, but he's not finding any favor in her eyes. It just keeps going. You're valid. Never really heard the extent of why I'm your friend. So now he's like interrogating her. Why am I your buddy? Why am I your pal, huh? Tell me. I could tell you all day why you're my friend. Your voice is fucking music. I think you're brilliant. Just a brilliant person to be around. Really wish I could hug you. Fuck. This hurts. And again, she reiterates, I need time to think. I will reach out when I'm ready. And now we've finally gotten past the introduction here and we're entering the climax. Welcome to the wacky zone. He once again gives her no time to reach out or process any of this. He reaches out pretty soon after everything, only a couple of days, and says, so is there any chance as your friend I could send you something explicit? She says, what do you mean? And then he goes, NSFW, which I'm sure all of you know what that means, but I'll break it down anyway. Not safe for work. Of course, she wasn't expecting this curveball, so she says, are you trying to make a joke right now? And then he goes, no, kind of a gamble. I will say this is a historic moment. You are witnessing the worst gamble in history. Congratulations, we all got to be a part of this. This is, by far, the absolute worst possible fucking gamble you could ever make. This is like betting 100% of your life savings on me getting taller. What the fuck are you... I don't understand how you think an out-of-nowhere nudie is going to somehow win her over and, somehow solve all of these problems. I just can't even understand that mindset, really. It just doesn't compute. Okay, I tried all of the lovey-dovey, really mushy-gushy stuff with the favor in your eyes, your voice is like magic or music. It didn't work. So let's try something a little more primal. Wiener. What about penis? Eureka! This might be the answer. Let's try it. She's once again just trying to make sure she fully understands the lunacy going on here, so she says, are you asking me if you can send me something sexually explicit? Respectfully. What a gentleman. A fedora tip to you, my gentle sir. That is sophisticated. Very respectful. Milady, doth thou wish to gaze upon my meat? And then he sends her a dick pic with his pinky out while holding it. An incredibly interesting play here, as if somehow his cock was going to hypnotize her and make her fall in love with him. So she eventually responds by pointing out how weird this whole interaction has become. She still only ever viewed them as friends and will only ever view him as a friend, and that she's very disappointed that he can't even respect that she wants some time to herself to process this entire weird interaction. She also drops a bombshell at the end by mentioning that she's currently in a relationship, so that was a big plot twist. This goober is doing all of this to a girl who is not interested and also in a relationship. The odds couldn't be more against him. Now, she used a word at the end that's about to change the entire course of this interaction. She said, it sucked when you went all incel on me towards the end. That word, I had a big voice crack there, that's how powerful that word is. That one word ruffled this guy's feathers so much. You're about to see a full-blown ballistic breakdown from it. I respect that. Also, if I'm an incel, you're toxic, so let's not name call. She's toxic because she doesn't want to fuck him. Why is that even in your argument, that I can't get someone? I can. You choose not to. That's fair, but you didn't get to call me an incel because you decline. You go out of your way to say it. Why is that? Label me as anything else, for real. It's foolish for you to argue something like that. She gets taken off guard here, saying hey, whoa, pump the brakes, Buster. I didn't mean to offend you. She says, I never said you couldn't get someone. What do you mean? She never said that. He is now just projecting some insecurities and reading between the lines on shit that doesn't exist. She just said his behavior was that of an incel or something. And he keeps going. You should know I'm anything but a little dick incel, so out of here with that shit. Again, she never even pointed out your penis or anything. She didn't call it small. Where is this coming from? He's fighting ghosts. I'm not even gonna pretend that's valid. You're with a fucking beta cuck to begin with. Maybe that's your type and maybe that's why we aren't together. Have fun with that. The mask has come off. He is unchained, unhinged, and unhappy. Your boyfriend's a beta cuck loser. That's the only reason you and I aren't together, because that's what you're into, beta cucks. You couldn't handle an alpha male testosterone titan like me, a real man who cries while he texts. She then goes on to say, look, if you find me to be toxic and all of this awful stuff, okay, then, you shouldn't be upset that we're not close anymore. And to this big message, he just responds by saying, I'll see you in hell. And then she says r/nice guys, which this very much is an r/nice guys moment. Keep in mind, this is still only a couple days after the whole poetic, allow me to find favor in your eyes, miss. Your voice is music, sweet music. And now it's, what an excellent take on a 7-year waste of my fucking time. To which she responds, so you're just waiting around until I'd eventually date you? That's on you, man. She's absolutely right. That is entirely on you. This dude played the long game, almost an entire decade of pretending to be her friend in the hopes that eventually you'll get to fuck her. I guess was the plan. That is a long commitment to a deep cover operation to stay in disguise, faking friendship, hoping that eventually you'll be able to have sex with her. Then he says, how was I supposed to know you're only interested in half men? I've never even seen that term used before. This guy's pulling all kinds of Insano-style phrases out of his ass now. I spent 7 years just waiting for you to notice the difference, but I guess I bet on the wrong fucking horse. This goober spent 7 years pretending to be her friend, hoping that somehow she'd fall in love with him? This is craziness. This is a longer time spent undercover than Rob Lucci and the gang during the Water 7 arc of One Piece. Like, this is outrageous how long he committed to this ridiculous, diabolical plan. And now he's just full anime villain mode. I'm over you. That's why I asked if you needed a visual definition of the word endowed, because I bet you're never going to get that with the life you choose to live without me. Motherfucker, I grew this dick for you, you ungrateful clod. We have to pause here for a moment. Wow. I grew this dick for you, you ungrateful clod. That is one of the most powerful sentences I've ever had the pleasure of reading. What does that even mean? That's not even possible. How could you have grown your penis for her? Was there no dick there to begin with, and then you just started, like planting the seeds and then taking care of it like summertime gardening? Like, what does that mean, you grew it for her? Is it a laboratory experiment like the Cybermen? Like, I don't understand. It's just such a bafflingly amazing sentence. She's also stunned, saying, I refuse to believe that these messages aren't satire. And then that sets him off even further. This entire relationship is satire. A joke. Your interest in men is a joke. The wambulance is coming in hot. He's Squidward, you're Squidward, I'm Squidward, we're all Squidward. This whole relationship satire, it's all a joke, you're a joke. Fuck you. My interest in you is a joke. This is the first time I wanted to show someone my dick because I hate them. Fucking brilliant. r/nice guys, these nuts. She waits a while and then says, I think enough time has passed and I just genuinely want to know if you've had any remorse for the shit you said to me or if you truly believe it was all valid. And then he responds 7 hours later saying, let's find out if you're still seeing the Hat Man first. I don't know what that means, but then he comes back 2 hours later and said, I'm over you. You're wasting your time. So he's trying to flip this around on her like, you missed your opportunity with the golden goose. You missed your opportunity with the alpha. I've moved on, you harpy. I don't need you anymore, harlot. Listen, I've matured a lot. You clearly haven't. So you're wasting your time trying to talk to me now. You had your chance, you blew it. I'm sure you're kicking yourself now for this, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But then just to finish it off with the cherry on top, he quotes from before where he was offering to show her his wiener and says, I still mean this if you need clarification. And then comes back and says, except don't even bother asking for nudes. I have a girlfriend. Okay. I mean, this is quite the ride. What an adventure. She eventually just says, you know, what's wrong with you? We were friends for almost a decade. And then you go into this shit. Which is a reasonable response. Like, how did this happen? We have been friends for like 10 years. We've known each other for so long. Where did this come from? It is crazy. This whole situation was wild. And also, I'm calling fiddlesticks on that last statement from him. I don't believe he has a girlfriend. If we go back to like chapter 7 of this meltdown, he said that she was the first girl he wanted to show his penis to. So, I'm under the impression he's a virgin. And I don't think enough time has passed between those messages and these that he would not only lose his virginity, but then also have a girlfriend, especially given all of the behavior we're seeing exhibited here. So, I think he lied about that. That was probably just once again some kind of Hail Mary to make her jealous. Like, hey, Listen, Toots. Got a girlfriend. Stay off of me. Can't send you nudes anymore. You blew it. Nope, can't do it. Sorry. That's on you. Yeah, you'll regret this for the rest of your life, clearly. Sorry. Have a girlfriend. Even though it's most likely a lie. But yeah, that's all there is to the story here. Overall, I think we can all agree that nice guys really do finish last. It is insulting that these two didn't end up getting married. This guy is a real catch, and it's just a shame to see that it didn't pan out. But yeah, overall, dropping the sarcasm, I actually feel really bad for the woman in this situation here. This is someone who was a close friend to her for a fucking decade, only to then find out that that close friend was actually just a complete piece of shit, loser, degenerate, who was only being her friend, trying to have sex with her down the line. I can't even imagine that kind of betrayal. That must have been fucking awful. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share this because I've been thinking about it like all day. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. I know my calm, composed, stoic demeanor may not give you any clues or hints at my internal struggle, but trust me, right now, I'm spiraling. I'm falling down a dark path I swore I'd never walk again. Like a former addict who finds the pipe once again, I have found my long since abandoned drug. I have become hooked on reading horrible text messages from dudes trying to get laid again. It's been many moons, and some of you who have been around the channel for a while may remember I've made a lot of content covering horrible pickup artists, as well as horrible text messages with self-proclaimed nice guys who are one gentle no away from letting the demon out and just flipping the switch to a full-blown conniption. Like, the word boyfriend would be, a Winter Soldier event that would have them just go ballistic. And I've made quite a bit of content, both laughing at the absurdity of it, as well as using it as an educational tool, like, hey, don't be like these goobers. But over time, I started kind of petering out from doing that, because I just made so much of it, and I stopped indulging in that kind of content until recently. I could only fight the urge for so long. The werewolf is coming out. It's a full moon, and that moon is nothing but fucking cringe. I saw some text messages today that I've just got to go over. Now, before we embark on this journey together, it's important that I let you know that these are two college students. As we go through this, you'll probably assume that it's two 13-year-olds, but that's not the case. These are two college students that worked on a group project together, and now we're coming in after the completion of the project. So, they say, I just emailed Professor the final draft, so we should be good. To which the poster says, yay, and then sends a meme, go team. I really enjoyed working with you. You seem like a very sweet and smart girl, and I'd love to take you out sometime. To which they say, that's very kind of you, but I have a boyfriend. Oh boy. She said the phrase, I have a boyfriend. There is no phrase more powerful in the English language than that. The strongest sentence ever constructed. That's like the nuclear bomb here. I have a boyfriend is a phrase, nay, an incantation, more powerful than Avada Kedavra from Harry Potter. And it's just been deployed. So you can already start to speculate where things are going to go south. He responds by saying, heh, well, thanks for leading me on. Which catches her off guard. She says, I'm sorry, but I don't think I've done anything to imply I was interested in dating you, to which he responds, it's just funny how you never brought up that you were taken until now. Which is an interesting thing to respond with, because that makes it seem like he expects every girl that's taken to immediately state that upon starting a conversation with a man. Like they need to wear some kind of sign or some kind of label on their forehead that says, currently in relationship, not available, thank you. Try again at later date. Although she does say that she mentioned her boyfriend. Actually, I did. When I was at your house, I told you my boyfriend was picking me up. Which he is able to counter beautifully by saying, I thought you meant a boy that you were friends with. Because why would you go over to a guy's house if you're dating someone? And she says, because you offered to host and we needed somewhere to work on our project together, my boyfriend knew and didn't care because all we were doing was working. I'm sorry if I did anything to give you the wrong idea. And then he says, you let me buy you a pizza. Now, admittedly, I understand where the guy's coming from here. We all know about the law of equivalent exchange thanks to Full Metal Alchemist, and we have something like that in the real world. If you buy a girl a pizza, she is obligated to have sex with you. It's the pussy for pizza transaction. It's as old as time itself. So the fact that he was able to buy her a pizza and he didn't get his winky stinky is shocking. But yeah, anyway, he seems to really put a lot of stock in the importance of that pizza. Like that was going to carry them all the way to marriage. Like this is a moment she'd remember for the rest of her life or something, that pizza that he bought her. But I'd like to backtrack a bit just briefly. Let's go to the previous chapter where he said, I thought you meant a boy you were friends with, because why would your boyfriend be okay with you going to a guy's house to work on a project? And I feel like that's a dogshit perspective that's not unique to just this guy in this situation. I've seen a lot right now where people work under the assumption that if your significant other is doing anything in any capacity with someone of the opposite sex, it means that they're unfaithful to you and they're cheating. But I just don't really subscribe to the belief that most normal, sane people think that way. Of course, there are extenuating circumstances to that, but in this scenario, and in most scenarios like this, where it's just she's working on a group project with a classmate, I don't know why you'd immediately jump to, she must be a whore who's going behind my back to fuck this one goofball in her class and pretending that they're working on a group project. I just don't think that's something most ordinary people jump to immediately, and in this case, the guy views it as weird that she ever even agreed to go to his house to work on this group project if she was in a relationship, but I just don't understand why that would be viewed as weird. Like, where else are they going to do it? Like, if they go to her place and do it, it's the same problem, right? Now, she has invited a guy over to her house and she's in a relationship to work on this group project. Wouldn't that be the same issue? Or if they go somewhere in public and do it, like a fucking Starbucks or whatever, it's still the same issue. Like, oh, now they went to a public place where people go, like, on dates sometimes to do this group project. So you can always make that argument no matter what. So just, I don't know, it just doesn't compute with me. But anyway, back to the pizza. I offered to split when you told me you were ordering a pizza and you said it was your treat. If you'd like, I can sell you for half of the cost. Yes, I'd like that. And you ate more of the pizza than I did, so you should pay for like 2/3 of it. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty math calculations here. Like, well, actually, listen here, Harpy. You ate more of the pie than I did, so you're gonna need to reimburse me more for it. And you know what? It wasn't my treat, because this Halloween there was only tricks. You tricked me. You lied by not telling me that you had a boyfriend. So give me extra cash for that pizza, you disgraceful harlot. She's being as gentle as possible here. I imagine she's scared of this individual, and she said as much in the comments of the post. She said that she didn't want to, like, get too aggressive back because then she'd be, like, afraid of what he might do. So it's just, like, I understand where she's coming from. You don't want to, poke and all of that. So she's just like, okay, that's fine. And I'm sorry again if you got the wrong idea, but I thought I made it clear that I viewed this as a professional relationship. Well, you didn't. And then he comes back and says, don't leave me on red. So he's getting very aggressive here. He's red in the face. He's steam coming out of the ears. Like, I understand why she wants to, like, tiptoe around this as gracefully and smoothly as possible. And it's something I've said a lot on stream, where in the current climate of things, it feels like everyone's more on edge than ever. Like, I've read so many stories over the last couple of years of people snapping at the smallest things, like even the most minor inconvenience. Like, this is a story I've referenced a lot, but it's one that actually legitimately sticks with me. There was a murder at a Subway where a man shot 2 Subway workers because they went a little heavy on the mayonnaise on his sandwich. Too much mayo was a death sentence for one of the 2 workers that was shot. The other one did survive, but I mean, it's things like that where it's never really worth pushing back. So in a case like this, I understand why she'd want to be really light about it. And I just want to mention that because I saw a lot of comments, like, not really grilling her or anything, but just really kind of wondering why she was being so polite in lieu of all of the aggression from this guy. And I totally understand why she would be. I really do get it. I just wanted to point that out real quick. But anyway, it wraps up by saying, I don't think this conversation is worth furthering, which is fair. And then he responds saying, it's ridiculous you even chose a guy to work with if you have a man. I bet he was upset even if he pretended not to be. Now, she explained this a little further in the comments. She didn't even choose him to be, like, her group project partner. Apparently the way the groups were chosen were people chose topics and whoever had similar topics worked together. So these 2 just happen to have the same topics. It's not like she went out of her way to choose this, benevolent angel to work with or anything. But anyway, I understand this was like a very short text exchange. It's only like 3 screenshots here, but I just think there's a whole lot to digest and analyze here. As we as a species have become more and more isolated, all of our socialization and human interaction comes from behind a computer screen now, mostly. almost all of our interaction with each other is through the internet. So it's leading to a lot of people not knowing how to socialize or not knowing how to pick up on like social cues, and I don't even really blame individuals for that. But it's led to situations kind of like this, where this guy really views that her being off the market, having a boyfriend, should mean that she shouldn't do anything at all with another guy, even work on a class project with another man. And also, something as simple as buying a pizza shows some kind of romantic interest between the two of them, some kind of mutual romance. So when it turns out that she wasn't interested and it leads to a rejection, it's something that he doesn't know how to handle appropriately. And overall, it is just pretty sad. Yes, it is like equal parts entertaining with some cringe text messages, of course, but at the core of it, there is a problem where people aren't going out in the real world and making genuine human connections. It's all through computers. So when you are in the real world with real humans, you don't really know how to handle things super well. So something as simple as getting like a rejection is a much bigger deal than it used to be. And overall, like I said, it's just kind of sad. I wanted to just talk about these text messages because I got real deep on why. Why would this be the response to something so simple? And of course, the text messages are very silly, like with the whole fucking pizza side quest thing. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. So yeah. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that I look and sound like a Redditor, which is one of the most insulting things you can ever say about another human being. But what if I force-fed you a hard truth? What if I told you I don't really use Reddit? My narwhal doesn't bacon at midnight. I'll occasionally go on there just to see if there's any breaking news that I might be unaware of, but it's very infrequent. And I never, go into the swamp of a comment section on the platform. Until today. I don't know what possessed me to do this. It must have been some kind of divine moment that just grabbed me by the shoulders and possessed me, told me that I needed to read some comments today, and I am so thankful I did. I stumbled upon true beauty with an argument that could only ever happen on Reddit, that perfectly encapsulates the quintessential Reddit user. In this moment, I am euphoric, thanks to finding this fucking angry Redditor and everyone who engaged with him on this day. It started in the most unsuspecting location, but then again, that's where all good fairy tales begin, in the place you least expect them. So, it was a clip posted from this podcast. Now, the clip doesn't matter. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm sure you probably already recognize the person here. Her name is Bobby. She runs a podcast where she interviews famous celebrities, and her whole shtick is she makes things awkward, which is a very hit or miss format, so it's led to a lot of debate on why is she so popular. Also, is she an industry plant because she seemingly blew up overnight? She landed an interview with Drake while she was still relatively new and not massive, so it just started raising a lot of red flags, and a lot of people started saying it must be an industry plant. And then she started getting even more superstar celebrities, like this clip is from an interview she did with Lil Yachty, and it's just been a lot of hoopla around her and her content. The only reason I'm even giving you this lore dump is because it is necessary to put into context what started this argument. And it's the entire reason I went into the comment section, really, of this video. You see, Bobby's content is very polarizing. On TikTok, people love Bobby. They're cheering her on, pumping their fist. Go Bobby! Let's get it! Fuck yeah! And then on Twitter, it's boo! Oh brother, she stinks! Get out of town, scram, this is garbage. So two very different responses to her content on two different platforms, but I've never really seen Reddit's opinion on it. I've never seen them weigh in, and curiosity got the best of me. I marched into Mordor, went to the comments in order to get an answer to the question, and most of the comments were pretty negative towards the interview, but there was one comment that spawned a whole series of dominoes to fall. So let's begin our journey. I'm going to blank out their name here. I don't want anyone to go harass anyone involved in this situation. So this individual comes forth and says, "What grown man sits down and watches this bullshit, then have the nerves to repost this garbage to Reddit?" Now this comment received a lot of love, over 400 upvotes, which is nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of high quality karma. Unfortunately, no Reddit Gold, Reddit Platinum, or Reddit Silver was gifted to it, so we weren't blessed with the edit thanks for the gold, stranger, or anything like that, but still, the community responded very positively to this comment, and most of the comment section here echoed the same sentiment that they didn't really understand the appeal of the clip. Now, all of this doesn't matter. You can wipe your ass with all of this now, because going forward, this comment spiraled into something that had nothing to do with the original post anymore, and it went fucking insano style. Now we're introduced to our primary antagonist of Season 1. So, from out of nowhere, our main character gets challenged. Someone steps in and says, "Lol, you're on the Hot Wheels sub, dude. Weird to take shots at what grown men should be into when your interests include Hot Wheels. Different people like different things. Leave it be." So he goes into the post history of this individual and notices that they are a frequent poster on the Hot Wheels subreddit, and he's using it to take some shots at him to try and showcase, like, hey man, you say grown men shouldn't be into that, but I could also say grown men shouldn't be into Hot Wheels. You see how that works? And he's not wrong. He's coming for the throat here. You could absolutely say the same thing. What grown men would be so into Hot Wheels that they'd go on to Reddit and talk about it all the time? I personally have no problem with that at all, and I don't think this poster does either. He's just using it to make a point. I think whatever hobby you're into, whatever you collect, I think it's great. I think that shit slaps. Having something that you're passionate about that you would collect it, I think is a cool thing. I mean, I have fucking cards framed on my wall from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, right? Like, I get it. But this really struck a nerve with this guy. He responded by saying, "Grown man liking cars? Who would have thought? I see you ignored all the other subs. Maybe I should waste my time on rap and movie subs like all the other low IQ Redditors across the pond." And if you're an astute observer, you'll notice that he's no longer enjoying the luxury of some updoots. The subreddit has turned against him, thrown him to the wolves. He is now being flooded with downvotes. And a downvote is a fate worse than death to a Redditor. It's kryptonite to Superman. The downvotes start hitting him, over 100 downvotes. And I can see why. This feels very insecure to come at him like this. Like, his point was pretty clear, but then he, tries to, I don't know, explain away why it's, really in line with being a grown-ass man because he likes cars. He's like, oh, well, yeah, grown men like cars, Hot Wheels are cars, duh. I mean, maybe I should just go to rap and movie subreddits like you low IQ plebeians. It's really, really cringy Reddit behavior now. The bad boy comes back with a tough-to-swallow pill. Hot Wheels aren't cars, mate. They're toys. Talk about low IQ, haha. You're not better than anybody else, sorry to tell you. To which he responds, "The fact you had to come back and edit that pathetic response, LMAO." And then he just says, "Go play with your vroom vrooms." His collection of downvotes is starting to eclipse his collection of Hot Wheels cars at this point. They just keep pouring in. As you can see, most people are rallying behind the other guy who's just saying, brother, they're toys, not real cars. And he's right. He is fluent in facts. He is spittin'. They are not real cars. They are toys. There's nothing wrong with collecting them or liking them, but I don't understand why this goofball is talking about it as if they are real vehicles. He's like, got this bravado going on, like this machismo, like, oh yeah, grown men liking cars, who would have thought? It's Hot Wheels, man. They're still collectible toys that you can play with, and they are made for kids, but there's nothing wrong with liking them or collecting them as an adult. Fucking Pokemon cards are made for kids too. I collect them. There's no shame in it, but you're acting so insecure about it and pretending that it's something that it's not. And he does the classic Reddit 101 when it comes to argument, where he doesn't actually address what was said. He just says, LMAO, edited your pathetic response, big L, basically. His response wasn't pathetic, it was totally fine. You didn't counter it or anything at all. He just made you look foolish, and you continue to make yourself look like even more of a clown here. In response to the vroom vroom comment, he says, "I'm changing spark plugs on my 700 horsepower F-150 right now. I will when I get done, though." And now, here enters the sidekick to our main supervillain here, who chimes in and says, "You're trying too hard." To which this guy responds, "Actually, I'm low on boost. If I was trying too hard, I'd be at 950 horsepower range." It doesn't get more Redditor than that. Oh my fucking god. I could feel the fedora tip through the computer screen here. Milady? my horsepower is quite low, actually. It's just, shit, it hurts to read. It really does. The guy's absolutely right. He is trying so hard. I half expected him to go into, like, the Navy SEALs copy pasta. What'd you say to me, you little bitch? I've got 500 confirmed Hot Wheels with 6,000 horsepower and 400 RPM turbo booster NOS accelerators. Like, brother, it's Reddit. You're not Dominic Toretto. You're talking about Hot Wheels. It's not that deep. Even if he was being honest and was changing the spark plugs in his F-150, why would you say that? It just makes you look like such a fucking loser to say that during your heated little scuffle online. It's so cringy. If that's what you were actually doing, keep it to yourself. You don't need to try and, like, prove that you're a man to a stranger on Reddit. All hell breaks loose right now, and the Cringe is rated E for everyone, because he starts just lashing out at anybody in the thread. So someone else made a comment, and he went through his post history, I believe, and found that he was on, like, the WWE subreddit. So he calls him out saying, WWE isn't real, bro, sorry to tell you. Maybe you should pick up a real hobby like learning about cars. To which they respond, toys. A slam dunk, he's right. It's all fucking about Hot Wheels so far. So then he comes back and says, yes, I'm not delusional like you, Mr. SmackDown vs. Raw. That's not even an insult. The WWE is extraordinarily popular. Hot Wheels Henry is just really scrapping for any morsel, any crumb of an insult that he can, slap together. And it's not working. It's not. He's fighting like 16 different battles from all fronts here on this comment thread, and he's losing every single one of them. Our boy then goes full armchair psychologist. You actually are ashamed deep down. That's the whole reason you chimed in on my comment. You felt attacked when I said, what grown man watches this? It brought back traumatic memories of you being bullied for liking WWE in this day and age. He's like, no, I commented just because of the toxicity. To which he says, I'd rather have a Hot Wheels collection in my garage next to my turbo truck than have Rey Mysterio and Triple H posters all over my wall. I don't know who's getting bullied for liking the WWE in this day and age. It's extraordinarily popular. Maybe like 10 years ago, but today, no shot. I think he's fighting Ghost with that one. You're much more likely to get bullied for collecting Hot Wheels cars as a grown-ass man. Case in point. Though, he's not actually getting bullied for that because no one really has a problem with what you collect as a hobby. The reason people are making fun of him here in the subreddit is because of his attitude, where he views his hobby as just superior to whatever else everyone's interested in. Oh, you see, no, I actually collect Hot Wheels cars, like a real grown, grizzled, strong, big-muscled man, not this lame garbage. Like, it just sounds like pinky up, high off your own fumes, sniffing your own farts kind of garbage where you view yourself as superior than others just because you think your interests are better. So you're just shitting on everyone else who called it out. Like, no one cares if you collect Hot Wheels cars in your garage and it's right next to your fucking Optimus Prime truck. Yeehaw, that's great. You're just being an asshole about it, which is why people are just making fun of you in the subreddit. His rampage continues, and this time he's pissing on sacred, hallowed ground. He insults RuneScape. He says, you drive a stock car and play RuneScape, I know you're drowning in pussy. He's saying it sarcastically. So he checked the comment history of this guy, saw that he played RuneScape, and he's using it to attack him. Which is a wild one. Like, yeah, RuneScape's got some, less than stellar things about it, but there's nothing wrong with RuneScape at all. It's still an extremely popular MMO that is well loved to this day. And the guy's like, I don't understand how a dude who plays with toy cars thinks he's above people on movie and rap subreddits and people who play RuneScape. We're all on the same site getting in our respective nerdy communities. What makes toy cars better than talking about media or playing a game? Which is fair. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And then he just goes, you don't understand because you can't even turn a wrench on your own car. Of course, a mechanic is going to be into Hot Wheels considering he works around cars all day. Do you need me to further break it down for you to understand? Oh, just that aura of insecure loser is very potent. It's like in Bleach when they first meet Kenpachi and his spiritual pressure is so strong that it just glues people to the ground, they can't even stand up. That's what his loser aura is doing to me right now. It's rough. Why do you feel the need to defend your hobby when no one's actually attacking that? They're attacking your behavior, where you think what you do is better than everyone else and can't understand that different people are going to like different things and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the only thing people are picking apart. That's what started this whole thing. You were saying, who watches this garbage? What grown man would do this? And one other guy was like, hey, you're a grown man who plays with Hot Wheels. You understand? Like, different people like different things. It could have been so easy to just meet in the middle, shake hands, and be like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, this wasn't for me. Just like Hot Wheels collecting, maybe not for you. But he just refuses to accept that reality. Instead, he's just going, no, you don't understand because you can't turn a wrench in your own car. He just keeps diving in on things other people like. Do you just really call RuneScape a fun multiplayer game? Responding to someone saying that it was a fun game, there's nothing wrong with it. You're not playing COD, dude. You're playing a game that's synonymous with virgin weirdos like yourself. Deaf embarrassing. He's just trying way too hard. I can feel the tears in his eyes as he types these comebacks. Now, up until this point, I had a big smile on my face reading these for the first time, but when I read his next response here, I let out an audible gasp. So the guy, once again, is still going in about RuneScape, like, it's just an MMO, whatever, you're being a judgmental prick, and can't handle it when people roast you back. So you start combing through comment histories, massive Redditor mindset. And his response is, I can definitely handle it, LMAO. I just shit on 10 different no-lifes, including you, that wanted to be relevant. There's multiple comments saying who watches this, but of course you want to reply to mine for the free clout and upvotes from the Fem girls. I don't even know what fantasy land this guy's in. He just went into Narnia, and he's not coming back, I guess. We've lost him for good in delusion. Farming the free clout from a Reddit comment section? What clout? And where did the Fem girls come from? And I don't understand. There's so many layers to this onion, I don't even know where to begin with picking it apart. So, first of all, he can't handle anyone roasting him back. He has showcased that very beautifully. He's had a full-blown conniption over this. He did not shit on 10 different people. He just made a fool of himself in response to 10 different people. And he says that they just wanted to be relevant. So I'm guessing this guy has a huge ego, and he thinks that he's some kind of Reddit power user, perhaps? Like, his karma speaks for itself, right? Like, this is a big guy. And you guys are only responding to him because they're trying to suckle some clout from his teats. His big, ample bosom of relevancy. It's wild. It's so wild to me. So I went to his account because I did a double take. Is this like a big Reddit user? No, he's not. Like, I don't know what like the highest upper echelon of Reddit karma farming is, like the biggest karma accounts, but his is not very high. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. But even if it was, if he's the #1 Reddit poster, there is no such thing as Reddit clout for commenters. That doesn't exist. Like, Reddit is the only social media platform where if you're extremely active, the #1 account on Reddit, it doesn't do dick for you. It does less than nothing for you. If you get Twitter famous, you can at least turn that into some kind of like sponsorship revenue or lead people to other platforms to maybe follow you. Now you can even make direct ad revenue from engagement, I guess. TikTok, obviously, you can make a whole career out of. Even Facebook, obviously, YouTube, Twitch, every other social media platform, if you are a power user of it and get like a big audience on there, you can make a whole career out of it. Reddit, if you dedicate your life to being a Reddit power user, all you do is get laughed at. That's your big reward. You get insulted for wasting your time. It is the only social media platform where you cannot make a career out of being a power user of it. So even if he was the #1 user on here, it wouldn't matter. And there's no clout that anyone would be able to get from this exchange. This was just one of the most bafflingly out of touch comments I think I've ever read on that platform. Now, another Redditor came in and said, no way you just said free clout when referring to Reddit comments, also stunned by the statement, and he double responds here saying, your plan worked, dude. You got all the femboys wanting to suck you off. And since we're on Reddit, I'll just go ahead and do it. You used the wrong form of your, actually. And then his next response is, y'all should become friends and play together. Y'all would fit in perfectly with the rest of the RuneScape community. I'm at a loss for words. This is kind of where the whole thing ends. And man, what a banger of an exchange it was. It's just such an adventure. All starting from someone mentioning his Hot Wheels hobby. And look at where we ended up, huh? Look at us now. Who would have thought? This is a wacky argument. Probably my favorite Reddit argument that I've got to actually find for myself. I got to come into this in the wild. I didn't get linked to this. No one told me about this. I just happened to be perusing the comment section and then saw this argument unfold. And I got to go on an unexpected journey with it. And I really just had to share it. I had to. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. We're entering into an age where people just don't know how to socialize. It's just this inability to appropriately communicate with one another in a healthy way, and it's led to a lot of confusion and, frankly, a lot of unhinged weirdos in the dating scene, it would appear. I have become way too invested in reading these horror stories from people that were romantically interested in one another or even went on dates, and then all of a sudden things go tits up over nothing because people are just disconnected from reality and perpetually on edge, it would seem. Like, I am so deep into this rabbit hole. I understand how pathetic that is on my part, but I can't help it. It's just so fascinating. Like, it seems like you'd have better luck finding your soulmate in one of my streams, like by just communicating with someone in the chat. Like, you probably would meet a more compatible match in solo queue League of Legends than you would on a dating app right now. The people in fucking solo queue League are more mentally stable, less hostile, and less weird than the people I'm seeing that are meeting on like Tinder and Bumble and all that. Today, this post kind of popped off on Reddit. I fully recognize a lot of these can be a bunch of, horseradish, but I like to suspend disbelief anyway. Plus, it's a weird thing to fake because you don't get anything out of it besides Reddit karma, I suppose, which is the most useless currency since Monopoly money. So anyway, the story is this girl's friend was going on a date with a gentleman that she had met online who seemed really cool. They agreed to meet at this restaurant, and that's where the story begins. So she says, "I'm on my way," to which our gentle sir tips his fedora and says, "K," which already feels a little hostile to me. This is their first date. I feel like you can't just be dropping a K like that. It just seems a little aggressive, but maybe I'm reading into it too deep since I already know how the story plays out. She says, "Are you there yet?" "No, I'm going to be a little bit late." "No worries, I'm here. I'll be in the far right corner." He finally arrives. Our protagonist makes it to the scene. He kicks open the doors. He says, "I'm here. I don't see you." To which she describes her location. "I'm next to the big plant in the back to the right when you first walk in." So she's providing him with directions, coordinates, so that way he can go walk over and they can begin their date. But the date never really begins because, you see, something has already gone awry, even upon first walking into the establishment. He drops this bomb on her. He says, "Piss off," out of nowhere. Actually, from out of left field, the curveball, which catches her off guard. She goes, "I'm sorry? I'm really confused right now." As most people would be, because he hasn't sat down at the table, she hasn't even seen him yet, and he's angry about something, fuming, furious, steaming. Well, what went wrong? Let's start to speculate a couple of things. Perhaps this is an Ed, Edd and Eddy situation when Ed gets the rock in his shoe and it just puts him in a bad mood. Maybe he believes that he's been catfished. He might have seen her from a distance and it wasn't the same girl that he thought he was communicating with. Perhaps. But what if I told you the reality is something none of you would possibly guess? It's actually super easy to improve your social skills and increase your odds of getting laid. All you need is to shop at moistglobal.com and get the new retro basketball line. It's that simple. An incredible assortment of beautiful items available right now at moistglobal.com. Go ahead and get yourself something. Who doesn't love retro basketball gear? We tried to stay as true to all the material and all the designs of the classic basketball stuff that we all grew up with, so hopefully you enjoy it. moistglobal.com, the link's in the description. His rampage continues and he explains himself. "I'm not gonna waste my time on some unfaithful whore. Couldn't even wait until after the first date to flirt with someone else. Every woman is a cheating bitch, I swear. All you want is attention." So this man's fighting ghosts right now. I guess he might have fallen asleep when he got to the restaurant. Maybe he has narcolepsy and he dozed off for a moment and had a bad dream where his date's making out with other dudes right in front of him while giving him the finger and saying, "Fuck you, bozo, nerd loser. I'm with the Chads now. Get out of town. Scram." I don't know what exactly he thought he saw when he got there. But he goes on this, attack right now about how she's an unfaithful whore. even though she has done nothing but just sit at a restaurant waiting for him. And she's as confused as anyone. She goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't flirted with anyone since we started talking. I don't know where you got this idea from. Could you tell me what made you think I was talking to other guys? He then explains himself. Don't act all innocent. I saw you chatting it up with some Asian dude while you were waiting for me. You're a fucking bitch. I can't believe I trusted you. You're not even pretty anyways. I just wanted to give the ugly girl a chance. Or ugly they or whatever you are. Slut. So he's going fucking freaky mode right now. This guy is off his gourd at the moment. Also goes with a classic, you're not even hot anyway. I was doing you a favor by letting you be seen with me, the nice guy, the Giga Chad Alpha. Fuck! And I can't believe you've done this. Like, just the standard, immediately, like, talking about, you're actually ugly, I was never interested anyway, I was just giving the ugly girl a chance because it was a good deed to get me into heaven. That's all. I was trying to do what I thought the Lord wanted me to do. And you did this to me? You betrayed me like this? Shame on you. I was the angel. Which we've seen a million times, that's nothing new. This guy is clearly looking like a big old piece of shit here. So, then the truth of the situation comes out. The only guy I talked to was the waiter. I wasn't flirting with anyone. He was asking me if I wanted to order, and I said I was waiting for you. This goober saw her talking to the waiter and assumed she must be trying to fuck him. Because that's all women want to do. Anytime they communicate with a male, they're just trying to slobber on that meat. It's disgusting. I can't believe you would do this, harlot. I saw you talking to that man. The waiter. That's what this is all over. That's what caused him to have this massive meltdown, tears in eyes, fucking whiny temper tantrum fucking blow up. Because she talked to the waiter who was asking if she wanted to order. That's so crazy. This lunatic. This absolute goofball. It continues. She asks, why are you acting like this? He goes, whatever, slut. Lose my number. You'll never find another guy like me. Hopefully he's right about that. I pray she never finds another unhinged weirdo like this guy. That would be for the best. Hopefully nobody ever finds this guy or anyone like him. That is just a curse I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Ruined your chance with the best dick you had ever had. I bet that Asian guy is small. God, this guy is an insufferable piece of shit. Good lord. What a vile person to say shit like this. Have fun never feeling real pleasure. Don't message me again. He'll leave your fat ass and you'll come running back to me. So he's diving deep into delusion now. The waiter of this restaurant just saved this lady a long time of agony. Because let's imagine these two actually did go on a successful date. Prior to this, apparently this guy and this girl had hit it off in a big way online. This was their first date. Let's assume that this date happened without any hiccups. She would have never seen this side of him until it was probably too late when they were already in a relationship, and it would have led to a lot worse of a situation for her. So the fact that this happened on day one, well, even before day one, this is like day zero because he never even sat down at the table for the date. The fact that it happened then is for the best. It saved her a long time worth of trouble. So the waiter in this story, actually a hero. Hats off to that guy. What's that expression? It's from Futurama. When you do something right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all. Like, that's exactly what happened here. Dude's just doing his job and ended up saving her so much trouble down the line. But yeah, anyway, so she talked to the waiter about her order. This guy blows a gasket, has this huge meltdown about it, shows his true colors, and then continues to just go on and on and on in these text messages with her. But girls like you like being used. All women just like bad guys, so they cheat when they meet a chill, nice guy. Whatever, I never liked your flat ass anyway. Don't leave me on red, you bitch. You just told her to lose your number, and now you're getting upset that she's not responding? Like, he's all over the place. He says that she has a fat ass and then says it's a flat ass. This guy's walking between worlds right now. He's caught in dimensions. His brain is completely scrambled. All because he saw his date talking to the fucking waiter. That is so crazy. That is crazy. And then still has the gall to say that he is a chill, nice guy. Chef's kiss. That is right on the nose. everyone that self-identifies as a nice guy always turns out to be like this. Like 100% of the time, it's crazy that statistic is as high as it is. The correlation between nice guys and being complete weirdos and just downright dangerously unstable people. It just, I don't know, I can't believe that it continues to be proven true time and time again. But yeah, anyway, I just had to showcase this one because I was giggling about it for quite some time. Like I said, I am in so deep on these horror stories of romance in the dating world, I couldn't help but at least share one here. That's about it. So yeah. I've never had a threesome, and I've never had an experience where I read something so cringe that it made my tummy upset. One of these two things is about to change today, and I don't think it's the threesome. I just read something from, yet again, my deep diving onto the horrors of modern dating with absolute deranged weirdos. And the whole interaction was so mind-bogglingly peculiar that my body couldn't help but suffer from a physical reaction after finishing this adventure here. I don't know where these men are coming from. These dudes are just being printed in the Cringe factory and being thrown into the dating world as like the worst NPC encounters you could ever have. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. But before doing that, just a quick heads up. The Moist Global Retro Basketball line is still available right now. This is the best assortment of merch the internet's ever seen, so you can go to moistglobal.com right now and pick something up. Links in the description. I just read some of the backstory she was posting about this situation in the comments, and it's actually pretty sad. Apparently these two had been dating for about 3 years. It was a horrible situation all around, and a couple months ago she left and took the kids. But this is the most recent interaction between the two of them. She 100% made the right move in leaving. This guy seems like a fucking menace. But anyway, it begins innocently enough. That's good, just working away with 3 exclamation points, so he's having a jolly old day at work. Did you get to the doctors yet? She says, yeah, I have COVID. What did he say it give you? What? What did the doctor say or give you to feel better? Take Advil, Tylenol, sleep as much as you can, and quarantine. This is so timely because I myself just finished going through COVID over the last 11 or so days. And this is the 3rd time it's fisted me. It has gone elbow deep in my ass 3 times, and all 3 times that is the exact same advice I was given by doctors. Now, of course, you can still ask for like a Paxlovid prescription if you want. It should help with like symptoms, but it's not usually the first thing they give you unless you're someone who is at risk for like complications, I think. It is an option, but typically they'll just tell you that. You know, take Tylenol, sleep it off, rest, fluids, simple stuff like that. So it seems innocent enough here, and the guy she's communicating with almost seems jovial. You know, like when he says, just working away, I can already see him typing that and going, just working away. You know, one of these with a big old smile on his face, ear to ear. He seems like a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And then it all falls apart. This feels like a real Jekyll and Hyde situation. He immediately just doubts her, doesn't trust her, accuses her of lying. Lol, so you didn't go to the doctors. Before this turns into a fight, just tell the fucking truth, lol. She says, I did. There's no meds for this. Yes, there is. Go to the doctors, lol. I need the address and the name of the clinic that told you there's no medicine. Also, the name do the doctors. They will be losing their license. So he's fucking spiraling immediately here. And I feel like this isn't exclusive to just him. I feel like a lot of men these days assume that every girl they interact with, even their significant other they've been with for 3 goddamn years, is some kind of lying, cheating harpy or something. So they're constantly interrogating because they don't believe anything they say. I feel like there's just so many dudes out there with this, like, insecurity within them where they doubt everything their partner says, believing that they're cheating in some way. They're lying about something, hiding something, and it's fucking awful. So this guy's trying to checkmate her here with the scholar's mate. Like, okay, then give me the name and the address, because I'm going to call them to double check, because I don't believe you, madame. She then says, stop being so fucking melodramatic. I seriously don't need this shit right now. There isn't anything they can give me. I'll be fine once it works its way through my system. He just continues to press, please, name of the doctors, location you want to, please. I know you sick. That's why I'm jandling this for you, and just need to know which doctor you went to. I can handle this properly. This guy has so much steam coming out of his ears, it's clouding his eyes. He can't even fucking type properly. He's typing like a caveman. He's going full Neanderthal mode here. Like, what in the world is happening in his noodle? He's gonna start jandling this? That reminds me of jelking. Like, that was an old thing on the internet where you're supposed to, like, masturbate in a certain way to elongate your wiener. Jandling feels like it's some kind of, like, sub-discipline of jelking. But anyway, she says, I don't need you to scream at the receptionist for no reason at all. Stop being ridiculous. I won't scream at anyone, just tell me the information. Skit K can handle this, please. If you don't provide it to me, it's because you're lying and didn't go to the doctors. There's nothing to handle. So just tell me the name of the doctor you saw. This douchebag is making so many typos, it looks like he's trying to transcribe the Scatman. I can jandle. It's like ridiculous how crazy he's going because he's so angry. I don't know why he'd even think she's lying about this. He admits that he knows she is sick. So why would she lie about going to the doctor? Well, like, what the fuck thought process is that? I know my girlfriend is sick, but it's probably dick sickness. She's probably hungry for cock and it's causing her physical pain. That's probably what it is. She didn't go to the doctor. She went to a penis appointment. That's what it is, and she's lying to me about it. I knew it! It continues to just get out of control. She says, lol, I shouldn't have to prove to you anything. I'm sick, I have COVID. She's absolutely right. She doesn't have to prove anything here. She doesn't need to try and, like, defeat his delusions. That's not her responsibility here. She's done nothing wrong. And he just continues, you're not proving anything to me, lol. There is medication for this. I know for a fact, as I know someone else who had COVID last week. There isn't, unless you're old as fuck or have an autoimmune disease or your lungs are shit. Otherwise, you're just a carry through like normal fucking virus. Yes, there is. Let me call the do it. And I will get you proof. Where did you go, baby? That comes out of nowhere. After all of this, he hits her with a where did you go, baby? I can already just tell from reading this shit, this guy is extraordinarily manipulative and a completely insufferable person to be around. But anyway, she goes, I went to a walk-in, and frankly, I'm not going to allow you to cause a muck over nothing. I'm going back to bed. What walk-in clinic? If you don't tell me, I'm don't with you. Because I'm not a ducking idiot, and I know you're lying, haha. You have 3 minutes to get me the address of the walk-in clinic or else. So now man's out here setting a time limit. He's dropping the ultimatum. You give me the name, and I will hunt them down. Out here like Liam Neeson, about to track them down with his particular set of cringe skills. I guess his thought process was he just wants to confirm that she actually went to the doctor, because for some reason he doesn't trust her even slightly, even though they've been together for 3 years. I also imagine if he did call them, he'd start yelling and screaming and causing a big hoopla, because he seems like that kind of unhinged, deranged lunatic that would do shit like that. But anyway, the 3 minutes to get me the address of the walk-in clinic or else, that's it. Buy more chances for you. She says, fine, be done with me because I don't want you yelling at someone for no fucking reason. He says, no one's going to get yelled at. You're just nothing but a liar and KM Jot a fucking idiot. I wouldn't have even called them, but everything you say is a lie, and you think I'm an idiot, and you can fool me. Anyway, joke's on you. Enjoy. Hope it was worth it, kid. His use of exclamation points and emojis is absolutely infuriating, but even more so than that, the cherry on top of the shit cake is him saying, hope it was worth it, kid. He's speaking like he's back on Xbox Live in a Call of Duty lobby. What? Hope it was worth it, kid? Oh, God, sickening. But clearly the reason he's using the emojis and the exclamation points is he's trying to put on this strong, masculine front that none of this bothers him. This is the biggest mistake of your life. You're going to regret this. But me, I'm laughing. I'm having fun with this. This means nothing to me. So much so that I'll drop a laughing, crying emoji and 5 exclamation points. Haha, not hurting me. She then says, lol, joke's on me because I'm sick. Great joke. Love that for myself. Love that I feel like I'm being dragged through the mud, fire, literally feel the worst ever. Great support, thanks. Joke's on you because you lost the best man of your life because you'd rather lie than tell the truth. Leave me alone. What the fuck? Oh my God. It's just so painful reading this. It's so fucking sad reading this, knowing that not only have they been together for 3 years, but I guess also have kids. Like, and speaking of the kids, his final message to her is this. You got it, Buster. Have fun being a homeless narcissist liar that no one loves, not even their children. He just dropped a cold Buster here at the end, and then told her that she is a homeless narcissist that not even her children love. What kind of delusional, evil shit is this? He's calling someone a narcissist. That's unbelievable. Pfft. And then to say that not even their children love her? What? I don't know how you go from like, oh, where'd you go, baby? You know, like, obviously, like, in love kind of thing, to immediately, like, no one loves you, everyone hates you, I'm the best man that has ever existed in this entire fucking history of our species, and you just blew it with me. This is your fault. You're unlovable. You're a liar. Your children don't love you. You're a narcissist. Like, it's just crazy how quickly someone can become this. It's so fucking sad. She definitely made the right call leaving this guy. I'm, of course, no, relationship counselor or guru or anything, but very clearly, this is an unhealthy person to be around. This guy super sucks. This guy is a turbo fucking loser. And according to her comments, this was only like the tip of the iceberg. She actually called this interaction mild. So I can only imagine how awful of a person this piece of shit is. She definitely made the right call. And to think all of this happened because she got COVID and went to the doctor, and that was enough to set this guy off. That's terrible. That's horrible. But yeah, like I said, I have been deep on like the modern dating scene, travesty, seeing like what all's been going on and being posted by people online. I just find it all so interesting. So I can't help but talk about some of these that really get crazy. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya. Good morning, and welcome back to Wacky Weirdo Hour. Boy howdy, do we have an action-packed lineup for you today. Get out your cup of coffee, enjoy your cereal. It's about to be a bit of a ride. Sometimes I'm asked, why do I do this to myself? Why do I dabble in the swamp of cringe? What's the purpose? What's there to gain from staring into the abyss and letting the abyss stare back into you? And the thing is, I unironically feel there's real value here in some lessons to be learned from the lunacy. Let's say there's people out there that haven't really experienced a lot socially in life, suckling mother's bosom, and has never really branched out from the nest to get their own wings and become the social butterfly that they are destined to be. Sometimes people might not recognize that the behavior they're exhibiting is not good and is bad, not productive, is not going to lead anywhere. So by going over some of these absolutely atrocious, downright painful exchanges in the dating scene or like romantic interest, I feel like it can serve as a scared straight kind of moment, like, behold, don't be this guy. And you're like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. What the fuck? He sucks. Okay. All right. I get it now. I know what not to do. Or maybe I'm just reading way too deep into all this. I'm not a fucking hero. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just a guy here laughing at some goofy situations. Anyway, the story for today is one I got tagged in a lot last night when I was at a Lightning game. So I actually watched it unfold in real time and had a sneaking suspicion that by morning this would no longer exist. The poster would probably remove it because things went out of control. That shit went cattywampus. And I was right. The posts were deleted, but I saved them. I made sure to. I said, dag nabbit, you're not keeping this from me. You think you can hide cringe, brush it under the rug, and I won't find it? Nope, I'm lifting that rug up with a big old smile on my face. I'll say, thank you so much for this, yum yum yum, scrumptious. So I got the Library of Alexandria of Cringe, and let's just go ahead and explore. I had to censor so many handles that were tagged in this initial tweet here. It was like a fucking CIA document with all the redactions. But anyway, I've got it in working order. I don't want anyone harassed here, including the original poster or anything, obviously, but I do want to go over this. So they made a call-out post out of nowhere. I don't want to be too rude, but I genuinely can't understand how this goofball, and then he tags the guy, got a beautiful girl like, and then he tags the girl. He says the dorkiest shit, yet has a massive following. I just can't wrap my head around how any girl would go for that. I really commend his efforts not to be rude. I think he did a great job of tiptoeing around it and being polite while also getting to the point. Extraordinary manners, clearly. Excuse me, everybody, not to be rude, But fuck this guy. He's got a girl and I don't, and he's a dork and I'm a Chad. What's going on here, guys? What an injustice. He's not ugly, but Sabrina is objectively hot, where he's average at best. He spends all his time on Twitter, unlike someone who has a full-time job and a ton of money he could use to provide for a stunning woman like herself. Nah, screw not trying to be rude. He's a loser, to be honest. Oh, he was doing such a good job of not being rude too, and then the wheels just fall off. It goes tits up. He really goes off the rails. I like how he's like analyzing this now as if he's a researcher studying the phenomenon. He's average at best, but Sabrina is on like a totally different plane. Like this something's not adding up here. There's something foul afoot. And then he had the gall to criticize that guy for being on Twitter all the time. Meanwhile, Goober is on Twitter all the time making whiny posts like this, just having a temper tantrum, tears in the eyes, shaking his fist. Why is she not with me? I want her. He doesn't deserve it. I deserve it. And then here comes the stone cold stunner right on his soul. So the girl that he was talking about and loosely tagging in his tantrum catches wind of it and drops the DMs that he continues to send her. She goes, I know your ass ain't tweeting this like you ain't been in my DMs constantly begging me for a chance like a desperate loser and refusing to take no for an answer like a disgusting creep. And here's the receipts, Twitter. Thank you for the receipts. God bless. I'll speak on behalf of all of Twitter when I say it's much appreciated. So it begins with, would you ever want to meet up someday? I'd love to see a movie or take you to dinner. Whatever you'd like. To which she responds, I'm flattered, but for one I have a boyfriend and I don't think you even live near me. Oh, I like to travel, so it's not a problem, lol. And you're not married, right? There shouldn't be anything wrong with hanging out. No, but I don't feel like your intentions are platonic, so... She was right. She really sniffed that one out pretty quickly. You don't need to be, part of the Scooby-Doo mystery gang in order to crack this code here. She immediately deduced that this wasn't necessarily a friendship offer. This was him shooting his shot. But I love how he just immediately goes like, well, you're not married, so I mean, like... what's the harm? I don't see a ring on your finger. And he continues, No, I'm absolutely being platonic. My intention is just that I want a chance to prove that maybe I could a candidate as well. Like maybe you'd have more fun with me. Just to weigh your options, About to have me talking like a Sims character with that kind of cringe. Like, what do you mean, weigh her options? Brother, you came out of nowhere in Twitter DMs. Why the fuck would she want to weigh options with you? Like, she's already in a relationship which she makes clear off rip and you still keep pressing. But you know what? Let's go even deeper here. We'll get into real fanfic levels of garbage and delusion. Let's assume she's in an open relationship and would actually, want other options, I suppose, in a partner. It's not gonna be you through Twitter DMs. That's just dangerous. No one's going to take you up on shit like this, especially not when you're coming out fucking guns blazing, fucking firing from the hip out of nowhere. And there's no possibility of that anyway in reality, because she actually shuts that down directly too. No, you're not, because you're still pushing something further even after knowing that I'm in a committed relationship with Blake, so there's no options. Learn how to take no for an answer. A lesson he absolutely refuses to learn. So he continues. I'm just confident in my abilities as a partner on all levels. I'm certain I can give you everything you desire, and perhaps better than he can. I apologize for persisting. You're just breathtaking, and I want you. I'm willing to fight for you at this point. To which she responds, there's no fighting for me, you don't know me, and you couldn't give me anything that her current partner doesn't. She lays into him. She lays down the brass tacks here. And basically he says, that's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them, because he refuses to accept anything she is saying and only continues to exist in this dimension in his brain that is disconnected from the reality here. But I will say, he has piqued my curiosity. I have to know what abilities he's so confident in here. Like, balloon animals? Like, he learned a magic trick from Chris Angel? Like, what abilities are we talking about? Because it's certainly not... like romantic abilities whatsoever. He's fucking cold calling like a telemarketer here through Twitter DMs. So he responds again saying, I had to give my 100%. If we're being truthful here, I don't think he deserves you. I see what he tweets and he's dorky as hell. You're hot and one of the kindest people I've ever seen on this app. What do you mean? Like, so I'm guessing he just like stalks her feed or something. He's like, he's making up this fantasy in his head where it's like, this is an angel and I should be with her, clearly. This guy's too dorky, too much of a dweeb, doesn't deserve that. It's so creepy. I have a good job and I'd be willing to let you crash with me at my place for as long as you'd want if you'd be willing to give me a chance someday. That's so generous. I mean, wow. He'd be willing to let her crash at his place? Wow. And they say chivalry is dead, huh? I don't even know why he's making that offer. I don't think that's something anyone would want to do. I don't know why he's making it sound like he'd be willing to make a sacrifice by letting her live with him when he's fucking obsessed with her. It's oh my god, it's so fucking weird. I'd take care of you, but you everything you want? Oh, buy you everything you want and give you anything you'd need. I haven't found any ladies in my area that share my same interests or honestly that are as beautiful as you are. I guess you just brought out my competitive side, lol. You absolute weenie. It's not a competition. And if dating was a competition, you're gonna stay losing with an attitude like this. I don't know why he's treating it like a game of Counter-Strike where if he just plays it properly, he'll go ahead and squeak out the W. She's already in a relationship. No matter what you do here through fucking Twitter DMs, it's not going to change that and she's not going to want to go with you. No matter how much you lecture her about why her current partner doesn't deserve her, which is an outrageously weird thing to do. You don't even know them to begin with. You are just someone that is stalking their fucking Twitter feeds, I guess. Like, this whole thing is super creepy. And he just doesn't see it. So she posts these DMs, and obviously a lot of people started dunking on him for it. And instead of trying to learn from it and understand why this isn't a good thing, he takes it as another opportunity to proclaim his love for this stranger. He says, "You have to be lying. Why is everyone acting like I'm crazy? Sabrina is drop-dead, sexy. Block A or Blake, whatever the fuck, is not. He's painfully average and mediocre at best. As I said before, he ain't ugly, but compared to her, he might as well be. Sabrina's figure is what I'd call perfection. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm trying to make a simple point. Her hair is majestic, her face is gorgeous, and her body is literally to die for. Not to mention she's strong and takes what she wants. I admire that. And she doesn't want you, so admire that, and come to terms with it. She will never want you. No matter how many times you make Twitter posts about her, obsessing over her. It's scary. It's unhinged. Stop it. Like, I don't know how else to like put it in plain terms. But even with people putting it in the plainest terms for someone to understand, he still just thinks that like his intellect is above everyone else's and no one's understanding his point. So after all of this kind of blows up, he then starts sending her more DMs about it. He comes back around into the DMs saying he didn't mean to put her on the spot, to which she responds, "You did. Now Twitter sees the creep that you are." And he says, "I don't think of myself as a creep. I'm just being honest and straightforward." And she says, "No, you're a loser and a creep who doesn't understand the word no." She's right. It's very blunt, but it is correct. The way he is behaving here is not taking no for an answer and being very creepy. Again, they don't even know each other. And he has become this obsessive over this whole situation. Like, even so much as saying, like, he doesn't deserve you, it's me, this and that. And he doesn't recognize why that's creepy. And I know that's not exclusive to just him. It's very important to have self-awareness and self-reflection where you can separate yourself from a situation, take a step back, and see how things look. He needs to be able to have that ability. That's an ability he should be confident in, so he can recognize that the way he has conducted himself here is creepy. You are a creep in this exchange, and you need to grow from it to not be like this going forward. And he just keeps going. "I thought you'd appreciate my persistence. I thought wrong. You turned the app against me. I didn't get any engagement before that tweet. People really lined up to defend that dude. I didn't think he was that liked, to be honest with you." It has nothing to do with the individual in this case. It just all has to do with you being creepy and people wanting to let you know that what you're doing is not okay. He's just not able to grasp the situation. And I also don't know why he would think this persistence would be appreciated. Again, you don't even know her. And being extremely persistent and annoying about shit is something nobody likes. Not even in a romantic partner, but in general, even as a friend. If you're just gonna keep like poking and pestering and like constantly prodding, no one's going to like that. She then explains to him again how what he's done is something nobody will appreciate, and he just ignores it and says, nobody on this app understands what my point even was that I was trying to make. What point? You're not making a point. You just keep saying how much you like her and find her boyfriend to be dorky and unworthy of her. What point are you talking about? There's not some like deeper underlying message that you're trying to get across that we're all too stupid to see. You're just being a weirdo for everyone to see publicly and throw tomatoes at. This is the last DM here that was shared. He says, I treat women with the utmost respect, actually. That's the impression I got as well. Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I got when reading this too. To which he responds, you don't when you can't accept the word no and objective women. Your loss, I guess. That's just a classic sign-off from like every single one of these meltdowns and bad romantic exchanges. Somehow it always ends with the guy saying, your loss, I'm actually like the best dude ever, I'm like the chillest, nicest guy ever, and you just blew it with me, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. You'll be thinking about that every night trying to go to sleep. What a big loss for you. I don't know why that's so common amongst all of this, but it is very interesting to see it every single time. But anyway, I just wanted to share this because I've been so fucking deep into these like weirdo romantic exchanges and all of that, so that's really about it. See ya.